on this day. This morning I would love to share with you a beginner yoga movement for beginners. Have you thought of yoga? Have you seen people in parks stretching, doing yoga, heard about the words, thinking, I might want to try that, but I'm not sure, maybe it's not for me, maybe I'm not flexible. Well, let's open up, let's try something new. I have come from a long line from doing nothing to work out, having 3 babies, going from a C-section, having weak tummy muscles from so many pregnancies, from breastfeeding, to doing the 21-day fix, and to doing high intensity, low intensity workouts, boxing, all of these different things. So let's together try something new and make our bodies move today. I love you so much. Wear something cozy and join me, and together let's go for a Sukhasana, the easy pose. Finding that comfy space, getting situated, moving those sit bones out of the way, maybe rolling those shoulders a little bit. We're going to connect to our breath. So gently soften your gaze, close your eyes, and bring your attention to your heart center. And you can put your hands over your physical heart. And bring your awareness to the beat of your heart. And tune into when you can feel it or when you can hear it. Take a deep breath in through your nose into that heart space. Drop your jaw, let go. Relax. As we are here, this is in yoga our anahata, which is not this actual physical beating heart, it is our spiritual heart. And within our breath and our movement, we're going to connect our mind to our body and our soul to our spiritual heart. Take a deep breath into that heart space. In this moment, set an intention for this practice, why you're here. It could be just a simple one phrase, one word attached to the words I am, the 2 most powerful words said in all of human language. When you attach words to I am, they really settle and resonate deeply. So maybe I am accepting, I am open, I am here to let some things go. Let it go, whatever it is, hold on to that intention. And together, we're going to walk our hands up to our upper chest area. We're going to take a breath into the upper chest area and feel that breath. We're going to create a Ujjayi pranayama, breathing into that upper space. On the first exhale, drop your jaw and act as if you were fogging up a glass. As we bring our awareness to our upper chest area. On the next exhale, we're going to close our jaw, and we're actually creating constriction to the back or throat area. This is also known as the Darth Vader breath, like the Luke, I am your father, that really like deep throat breathing. We're closing off the air, and it's the glottis that we're breathing out of and through. So breathing. Take 5 of your own Ujjayi breath. Allow it to the ocean breath because it will mimic the sound of the ocean. You can really just take some deep navel breaths. Or if you can get into this Ujjayi breath, you can relax your hands and let it flow. And as the air comes in, you will feel the gentle as the wave comes in. And it goes out and it crests up and then it releases. And then it connect to that. Breath in yoga is a huge factor. It's connecting our breath. The pranayama. Pranayama is the life force with breath, that spiritual heart inside. On the next exhale, dive your arms forward, arching your back into robin's breath. Exhaling, stretching arms into a cactus, squeezing shoulder blades as you are rooting up through your sit bones into the ceiling, into the crown. Engaging the core, rolling the spine forward, diving hands forward, arms coming back out. Arms meeting back and together, palms kissing palms, coming back to the chest, extending and elongating through the crown. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, squeeze your legs. Allow your heart to shine wherever it is that you are. And open up to that intention of letting go, loving yourself, accepting. The next inhale, we're going to twist to your left hand side, pointing the fingers behind you, posting up on the fingertips or dropping to the palms of your hand. Hugging that hand to the opposite leg, finding a soft stretch. We're not going to sacrifice the integrity of our spine by going so deep because we want to do these crazy twerking twist moves. Yoga is gentle and soft. There's always this softness, rolling the shoulders back, elongating through the crown, always finding a soft bend in the elbows and a soft bend in the knees. Inhaling up. You can raise your heart, arms up together, back to center, finding a neutral spine, rotating in the opposite direction. The same goes here. Find that nice, soft, that bend, that we're looking for that happy edge. So we roll our shoulder blades down, elongate, extend up through the crown, and breathe down and let your energy power through as you're feeling the expansion in the side ribs on this side, the contractions on this side. Finding a nice neutral spine in the middle. Rolling our shoulders forward, finding some freeing movements here. Yoga isn't about being perfect. It's not about seeing all these beautiful, grand movements. Rolling your head in small circles, spiraling into medium circles. One thing that I've really been diving into and wanting to share, reversing the opposite direction, just small to medium, is yoga is about you and connecting to yourself. And this is why you're here in this home practice. We're free from judgments. We're allowed to be ourselves. We can just be together. Feet, soles to the earth, rotating over onto the feet, coming up onto knees into tabletop. Using your blanket if that's more comfortable, and this is just a couch blanket, just nice and neatly rolled up. Tuning into our body and our spine, always checking from the feet and working our way, scanning our way up. Feet and ankles aligned over each other, moving up to the knees and the hip alignment. Just tuning into, if your legs are so far out, your hip alignment is off there. Tuning into your shoulders. And a lot of us have this tendency to sag and droop our back and put our spine up, but really engaging. In yoga, we have these three different energy sources. And the first that's right here in women, it's the Kegel area. And in men, it's that area between the rectum and the scrotum. If you can squeeze that and engage that. And the second one, they're called the bandhas. And the second is right here, and it's this area where you are engaging that tuck up. And the third bandha is right here in your chin, and it's that little double chin that you give yourself, but the good double chin, and it's holding and zipping up our energy together so we're not just like loose and injuring our spine and injuring ourselves. So feeling that, raising that back up, finding some freeing cow and cats, squeezing the shoulder blades together, the arms in together, elbows, slowly journeying with the tail and the chin up to the ceiling, curling tail and chin together, feeling the journey and the travel of the spine, working together. A soft bend to the elbows as you journey up that spine. Find that nice curvature. Exhale. Find that ujjayi breath in that upper area, closing the jaw. You're doing what feels good. And the those palms facing forward, starfish fingers, tucking the left knee in and pointing it through like a little mini runner's lunge. Tuning into this foot and putting the alignment of the ankle over the knee and maybe pressing back on this heel a little bit, checking the alignment of the hips and the knee and the back foot, tuning in headlights, our hips, our headlights facing forward, powering out through the arms into a nice crescent lunge. Finding that happy space between too much and not enough. When you peek down, seeing your big toe is about the right place you want to be. Too far back, too many toes exposed, is not going to get you where you want to be. And too far forward is going to be throwing everything off, and this hip is going to naturally want to pivot out. Bringing that in, drawing that navel in, extending up, finding that nice shape. It's a crescent lunge. Like you're like the crescent of a moon, you know, that nice half moon, little beautiful crescent. Breathing that ujjayi breath. Exhaling the arms down to the side, releasing the knees facing knees, hinging at the hips, walking forward, planting those hands into starfish, and powering up through the core and just bending that leg through. You might have a tendency to want to kind of barrel out, but bring your awareness to your tummy and just, if you need to, you can gently guide and walk your foot forward if that works better for you. Finding that nice stance. We don't want to be as much on a tightrope as if we do on skis. So keeping a little bit of that stance apart. Tuning into the feet first, grounding through the front foot, the back foot to the earth, moving up to the ankles, tuning into that alignment, tuning into the knees and the hips. This outer hip is going to want to have a tendency to rotate out. Encourage it to come in. Elongate the spine as you strengthen that core. Tuning into those bandhas, those energy sources. Tightening up, feeling the real feelings that you need to feel inside. Powering up through the arms to a T. Elongating, spreading, creating energy through the fingertips. Creating that nice crescent lunge. Peeking down to that big toe. Tuning in and breathing 3 ujjayi breaths. Beautiful work. Exhale those arms down to the side. Bringing the hands, planting them firmly like they're the soles of your feet. Powering up through that left hind leg and bringing it up to the front of your mat. On the next exhale, inhale up slightly, bringing the knees up, engaging, breathing here and coming on down, letting go. Letting the arms sway back and forth. Or grabbing elbow to elbow. Allowing yourself to let go. Uttanasana. This is a forward fold. Exhale that ujjayi. You can open that jaw and drop out a nice yogic breath, a full breath of breathing from the belly to the side ribs to the chest. Allowing hands to drop down. Engaging the core. Thinking about that cylinder that's wrapped around your lower back. As you come up, rolling those shoulders. Tuning mind. If you have a broom handy, because you're at home, you probably do, pause the video and go grab a broom. This is really important to figure out how our backs and our alignment work. So we're always hunched over on our phones and our computers all day. We have this curled up tendency to just, we're all curled up. Let's extend and roll back. So tuning in, as we're coming up, you can grab a broom, placing it on your back, in the back of your head. My pony is in the way a little bit. But checking in to feel what feels straight, or if you're too far forward or too curled back. This broom, hello, I am here. And we're hinging up at the hips. And it feels so good. So use that. Try that little trickety trick. It's amazing. Man down. My dummy, my little paintings here, I use this to help me. So this guy's going to help us into our next pose. Warrior. Virabhadrasana 1. The mountain is a foundational pose in yoga. This is feeling what it feels like to be in our body. In yoga, we have 4 points of our feet, grounding through the 2 front points and the back 2, which are in the heel. So connecting those into the earth, raising up all of the toes and gently dropping from pinky to ring down to the big toe. Checking into the arch of your foot and feel what it feels like as you press into the earth and the earth presses up against you, powering up through that core and lifting up. And even if you are flat-footed, there is still that energetic pull on your body and how you distribute your weight. So in this, you'll really feel if you have a tendency to pigeon toe in or duck walk out or whatever it is that you do, bring your awareness to trying to straighten out your body. Tuning into that, tuning into the ankles and checking into the ankles, checking into the knees. If you have a tendency, again, to do pigeon-toed or duck, tuning into keeping the alignment to keep a healthy body. And this doesn't just pertain to yoga, it's everyday life too. Bringing the awareness of this with you as you go. The knees over the hips, checking into the hips. If you collapse, like I said, use those bantans, using that kegel, which is that muscle in between your vagina and your anus, or your testicles and your anus, just like squeezing that muscle in. Squeezing in. Your anus is the part where your butt, your poop comes out of. Jack said, why did you say your anus? Because we're going to tighten up our anuses. Tighten up your anus. I'm just kidding. Hey, Jackie, can you come do this with me? Angry birdie. This is Jackie. Can you do the mountain? Here, be the mountain, ready? Powering up through the core. The core is a cylinder that runs all along here. You have this bundle of muscles on your back. Tightening that up. Becoming aware of your body. Yoga is body awareness. And checking in again to those shoulders. Feeling what it feels like to roll them back. Stretch up. When we say lengthen the spine, it's stretching back, letting the heart shine out and being here and stretching and strengthening. So powering all the way down, tuning in, do a full body scan, tuning in. You can bring your arms out up to the sky into an Anjali Mudra, which is the Namaste, creating space between your fingers, bringing that to your heart center, to that spiritual heart. And in this moment, feel what it feels like to be supported and consciously supported. Feet facing the short edge of the mat, stepping the right foot back, keeping a slight angle, facing the left corner of your mat, a soft bend in the right knee, and a nice bend in the right knee and a soft bend in the hind leg. If it feels too far, just bring that foot up a little bit. These pants are a little baggy, but you can see a soft bend and this soft little arch here. And we don't want to be on a tightrope because we're going to lose our balance. But if we keep our feet stance like we're on skis, we can feel that here. Powering our arms up to a T as we tune into that alignment of that hip, keeping that outer hip face and powering up through the core, tuning into that knee. The same story goes, peeking down to see that big toe. If we come back and see all of our toes, that's not quite where we want to be. And if we've covered up all those toes, it's a little too much. Exhaling those arms out into a T, bringing them straight up. Not as far back as a crescent lunge, but more of a vertical stretch. Inhaling love into your heart. Exhaling love into your home or your space, wherever it is you are. Inhaling love and acceptance in. Exhaling love and acceptance out. Dropping our arms down here. 1. Moving this left leg facing away from us. I'm going to be facing away from you, but you can do this. Tuning into that alignment. We are at a nice angle, like the corner of the room. Checking into that hip, facing the outer hip out, extending those arms, and maybe finding a little bit of a deeper stance here for Warrior 1. Feeling the stretch of the warrior, supported and rooted up. Maybe finding a little dynamic movement. Inhaling your arms into a cactus, exhaling them up, powering up to the ceiling. Inhaling, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Exhaling up into the ceiling. And finding a nice counter pose. Feel a free movement. You can feel what it feels like to move from your hip or move from your upper body. Move. You might have seen some fun, fluid fluid movements in yoga. You might have admired people doing some fun moves. Find what feels good. A nice counter pose, the opposite pose, is bringing this knee straight up and powering up and sliding this hand down the opposite leg as you keep this arm into a T, engaging the core, using that cylinder of muscles, and bringing back and breathing up to the sky. Just crawling down this leg. And if you want to just throw in a little trick pose, it's a trikonasana. It's bringing the opposite arm here, so you have this nice triangle. Keeping that outer shoulder out, the outer ribs out, a soft bend in that leg. Inhaling joy into your body. Exhaling joy into your environment. Inhaling. Exhaling. On the next inhale, power through your core, bringing your arms back down together. And rolling feet forward, facing the front edge of the mat. Stepping back, our opposite foot, right foot back. Right foot facing that corner of the mat. Left foot facing forward, finding that soft bend. Finding that space between too much and not enough on this back, on your hamstrings and your quads. If you're feeling really tight, you can engage more of a bend in that back leg. Inhaling, arms straight up, bending at that knee, powering up through the core, elongating the spine, peeking down. Find 3 Ujjayi breaths into your upper chest. If you're feeling wobbly, that's okay. No judgment here. Inhaling, letting go. Exhaling, allowing yourself to let go. And if it feels good, flick your hands off. Let go of what it is you need to let go. On the next exhale, melt that opposite arm down. Reposition that right foot, scooching it back slightly, tuning into the hips and the knee, turning it out slightly for warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Feeling powered up, you can face your palms facing upward, breathing deeply in. Finding a frame movement, you can move at the hip a little bit, a dynamic movement of moving the knee, or static, staying right where you are, feeling the glory of being so strong in this warrior pose. I like to move my shoulders back and forth, so it's keeping hip and knee in line and moving at that core, and it feels so good. Breathe a nice, delicious breath here and feel the goodness. Breathe goodness in. Exhale goodness. And smile. Giggle, laugh. Loosen up if you need to. Shake it up. Yoga can be fun. It doesn't have to be so serious and homey. It can be homey, but sometimes you can let go. Inhaling, finding a nice counter pose. Bringing this knee a little bit straighter. Crawling this arm straight down, breathing in, finding a nice vertical stretch. Being right here for a moment. Or if you feel compelled, stay or come down and drop down for Trikonasana. Tuning into this hip, it's going to want to turn in, keeping it out. My foot's turning slightly in, keeping it out, keeping that shoulder out, creating that beautiful triangle space here. Beautiful work. You just did 3 amazing standing poses. Good job for you. Exhaling that arm back up, powering through the core. Feet walking together. Heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Do your heel, toe, and just coming back to center. Finding back that nice mountain pose. Now we're the mountain. Feeling the mountain, keeping our feet closer. Finding that Uttanasana. Uttasana is hinging at the hips, heart leading down towards the ground. Coming straight down, bending, crouching, and curling up into a little bitty booty ball. Sitting on our booties, grabbing our pillow if we need to, scooting our butts forward, feeling a nice soft roll in the spine, in and out, in and out. Gently rolling that spine back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, to shoulder, to head. Allow your arms to be engaging the core, hugging the knees into the chest. Rocking them back and forth, finding a nice gentle massage on the lower back. Good job. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. Being rolling back and forth for a final pose of surrender, Savasana. Gently allowing the legs to come back down to the earth, letting them flow forward. Savasana is a pose of surrender, the last final pose, letting the legs fall out and allowing yourself to feel what it feels like to surrender. Take the next few moments to be with your breath, feel the feelings and sensations inside. Acknowledge your body and give it so much love and gratitude for bringing you here. And for showing up for yourself, because the hardest part in yoga and any exercise or any movement or doing anything for yourself is showing up. So give yourself a hug, a loving hug, and tell yourself thank you for being here. And do this again tomorrow and the next day and try it again. And even if you can only stick around for the first 15, just make sure that you're treating your body kindly, whatever it is that you're choosing to do. And I also have posted some more yoga videos. If you feel inspired, click on those and do them. Or another inspiring yoga-y is Yoga with Adrienne. I love her. She has hundreds of amazing, inspiring videos. Let us all be an inspiration to each other. And I'm going to read a little bit of a book that I have written called Healing with Hearts. A little paragraph. The ability to love, in my experiences and observations, the aspects of healing originates within thought. Without thought, inside of compassion, finding forgiveness, and giving gratitude for all things, form, and people. Only on the inside can I feel and connect to healing and find purpose in life. Although it's not so much a finding as it is a self-discovery. I am here to share with you, you can begin to heal your life with love. I am here to share how with heart and working on the inside first, you will begin an awakening. Namaste. May your awakening begin.